I'm going to say something that may surprise you. After more than 25 years working with older adults and reviewing nutrition research from major medical centers and long-term aging studies, I've seen a quiet pattern repeat itself again and again. Many seniors are doing what they believe is the right thing every morning. Eating eggs for protein, trying to protect muscle, trying to stay strong, and for many years that worked just fine. But for a growing number of adults over 60, eggs no longer work the way they used to. Not because eggs are bad, but because the aging body changes how it processes certain foods, especially when it comes to cholesterol handling, fat digestion, inflammation, and gut sensitivity. Here's the part almost no one talks about. For some seniors, the same breakfast they've eaten for decades can quietly increase digestive strain, contribute to low-grade inflammation, and interfere with how nutrients are absorbed, all while they believe they're supporting their health. That's the myth I want to gently challenge today. Because there is one simple egg alternative that many clinicians now recommend for adults over 60. An option that supports muscle, is easier on the heart, stabilizes blood sugar, and is far gentler on the aging digestive system. And most people overlook it completely. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this food is often a better choice than eggs for some seniors, and how it can quietly support strength, energy, and long-term health. Let's start with the common mistake that leads many older adults down the wrong path. For decades, eggs have been promoted as the perfect protein, and in younger bodies, they often are. But after 60, several things tend to change at the same time. Cholesterol processing can slow. Bile production may decrease, making fats harder to digest. Low-grade inflammation becomes more common, and the gut can become more sensitive to sulfur-rich foods, which eggs naturally contain. Large population studies have shown that older adults with metabolic changes often respond very differently to the same foods than younger people do. Age, insulin sensitivity, and vascular health all influence how the body reacts. That's why some seniors feel perfectly fine eating eggs every day, while others notice bloating, sluggishness, joint stiffness, or gradual changes in cholesterol levels, even when they eat what they believe is a clean diet. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 71, a retired electrician, still active, still sharp, but he couldn't understand why his energy dipped every morning. Eggs were his go-to breakfast, scrambled, boiled, omelets. High protein, low carbs. On paper, it looked ideal. Yet his blood work showed rising cholesterol. His digestion felt heavier, and his doctor noticed early signs of vascular stiffness. When Robert changed just one thing, his main protein source at breakfast, everything began to shift. Within about 8 weeks, his cholesterol improved, his morning energy felt steadier, and his digestion felt noticeably lighter. That change came from one simple egg alternative that delivers high-quality protein without the same digestive and inflammatory burden for older adults. So what makes this alternative different? It provides complete protein, meaning it contains all the essential amino acids needed to preserve muscle. It's lower in saturated fat, which supports aging arteries. It's easier to digest, which improves nutrient absorption. And it supports steadier blood sugar, which is critical for energy, balance, and brain health after 60. This matters because muscle loss accelerates with age. Research shows adults can lose 1 to 2% of muscle mass per year if protein intake and absorption aren't optimized. But here's the key point most people miss. It's not just how much protein you eat, it's how well your body can use it. That's where eggs sometimes fall short for older adults. The alternative I'm talking about delivers protein in a form that's easier to digest, easier to absorb, and easier to tolerate, especially first thing in the morning, when digestion is naturally slower. And no, it's not a supplement. It's not a powder. And it's not a processed replacement. It's something simple, affordable, familiar. But before I reveal exactly what it is, you need to understand why protein timing and protein form matter more than ever after 60, and how the wrong choice can quietly work against your goals. Because this isn't just about breakfast. It's about protecting your strength, your independence, and your ability to move and think with confidence. And the food you choose first thing in the morning sets the tone for your entire day. In the next section, I'll explain why the aging body processes protein differently, and why this one alternative often outperforms eggs for seniors, even though most people never consider it. If there's one thing aging research makes very clear, it's this. After 60, your body does not process protein the same way it did at 30 or 40. Stomach acid production gradually declines. Digestive enzymes become less efficient. Muscle cells respond less strongly to amino acids. And the signal that tells your body to use protein to maintain muscle becomes weaker. This process is known as anabolic resistance. It sounds technical, but the idea is simple. You can eat enough protein and still lose muscle. That's why so many seniors say, "I eat well, but I'm still getting weaker." It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's because your body now needs protein that's easier to digest, easier to absorb, and easier to use. This is where eggs can start to fall short for some older adults. Eggs are dense. They contain sulfur-rich amino acids. They're higher in saturated fat than many people realize. And they rely on strong bile flow and stomach acid to digest efficiently. In younger bodies, that usually isn't an issue. But after 60, eggs can feel heavier in the stomach. Digestion may slow. Some people notice more joint stiffness or inflammation. And for certain individuals, cholesterol levels can gradually rise over time. Large population studies have shown that dietary cholesterol affects older adults differently, especially those with metabolic changes. That doesn't make eggs bad. It simply means they're not always the best option anymore. Now let's talk about the alternative that surprises many seniors. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Most people think of yogurt as a snack or a light food, not a serious protein source. But Greek yogurt is very different from regular yogurt, and very different from eggs. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt typically provides around 17 to 20 grams of high-quality protein. It contains all essential amino acids. It's low in saturated fat. It supplies calcium for bone health, and it delivers beneficial probiotics that support digestion and immunity. Most importantly, the protein in Greek yogurt is highly bioavailable. That means your body can actually use it. Research on older adults has shown that dairy-based proteins are often absorbed and utilized more efficiently than whole eggs, particularly in the morning. Greek yogurt requires less digestive effort, empties from the stomach more smoothly, and delivers amino acids to muscle tissue more quickly. That matters after 60. Because muscle isn't just about strength, it's about balance, it's about blood sugar control, it's about fall prevention, and it's about staying independent. Let me tell you about Linda. Linda is 68, a grandmother, social, independent, but she began noticing small changes. Standing up felt harder. Her grip felt weaker. Her morning energy dipped. Eggs were her daily breakfast. Scrambled, omelets, always protein-focused. Her doctor suggested one small change. Replace eggs with plain Greek yogurt a few mornings per week. Nothing extreme. She added berries, a few nuts, sometimes cinnamon. Within 6 weeks, she noticed something different. Digestion felt lighter. Energy felt steadier. Daily movements felt easier. Not because Greek yogurt is magic, but because it worked better with her aging physiology. There's another important reason this matters. After 60, blood sugar swings become more problematic. Sharp rises followed by drops can increase fatigue, brain fog, and even fall risk. Eggs can sometimes delay digestion just enough to contribute to reactive blood sugar dips, especially when paired with refined carbohydrates. Greek yogurt, particularly when combined with fiber, tends to support more stable glucose levels. Research has shown that fermented dairy proteins can improve insulin sensitivity and reduce blood sugar variability in older adults. That means steadier energy, clearer thinking, and less dizziness. There's also the inflammation factor. Greek yogurt supports gut health through probiotics, and gut health directly influences inflammation throughout the body. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the major drivers of aging after 60. Anything that helps calm it quietly supports long-term health. This doesn't mean you need to eliminate eggs forever. It means rotating smarter options. Think of Greek yogurt as a tool that supports muscle without stressing digestion, a tool that feeds the gut, a tool that's easier on the heart. Used consistently, it can change how you feel day to day. But there is a right way and a wrong way to use it, because not all yogurt is created equal, and many options on store shelves contain added sugars and ingredients that cancel the benefits. In the next section, I'll show you exactly how to choose the right Greek yogurt after 60, how to eat it safely, and how to avoid the hidden sugar traps that trip up so many seniors. If you walk into a grocery store right now and grab the first yogurt you see, there's a good chance you'll choose the wrong one. And that single mistake can quietly cancel out everything we just talked about. Because most yogurts on store shelves are not designed for older adults. They're designed for taste, shelf life, and marketing. Bright labels. Fruit on the bottom. Words like low fat, light, or heart healthy. But when you turn the container around, the truth becomes clear very quickly. Added sugars, artificial flavors, thickeners, starches, and protein levels so low, they barely support aging muscles at all. After 60, sugar becomes one of the fastest ways to accelerate muscle loss. Not because sugar is evil, but because it spikes insulin, increases inflammation, and interferes with how muscles respond to protein. Research published in nutrition journals has shown that higher sugar intake reduces muscle protein synthesis in older adults, even when protein intake looks adequate on paper. That means you could be eating protein and still losing strength. So here's the rule that matters most. If the yogurt contains added sugar, fruit puree, honey, syrup, cane sugar, or anything sweetened, it's not helping you. The best option is simple. Plain, unsweetened, Greek yogurt, nothing else. The ingredient list should be short. Milk, live active cultures. That's it. Now let's talk about fat, because this is where many seniors get confused. For years, we were told to fear fat. Low-fat everything. Fat-free labels everywhere. But after 60, fat is no longer the enemy. In fact, a moderate amount of healthy fat helps slow digestion, improves amino acid absorption, supports hormone balance, and keeps blood sugar more stable. Low-fat Greek yogurt can still work, but many seniors actually do better with 2% or full-fat Greek yogurt, especially in the morning. The key isn't avoiding fat, it's controlling portions. 1 cup. Not the entire container. Now here's where Greek yogurt becomes especially effective. It's not just what you eat, it's how you combine it. After 60, muscles respond best when protein is paired with a small amount of healthy fat and fiber. This combination sends a stronger signal to your muscles to actually repair and maintain strength. Here's a simple, senior-friendly way to do it. 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt, a small handful of berries, a tablespoon of chopped walnuts or almonds, a sprinkle of cinnamon. That's it. No blender, no supplements, no cooking. The berries provide antioxidants that reduce muscle inflammation. The nuts supply healthy fats that slow digestion. The cinnamon supports better blood sugar control. Together, they create an environment where protein actually works. Here's something that surprises many people. Timing matters more after 60. Muscle cells are more receptive to protein earlier in the day. Research on protein distribution has shown that older adults who consume more protein in the morning preserve more muscle than those who eat most of it at dinner. So replacing eggs with Greek yogurt at breakfast isn't just convenient. It's strategic. It sets your metabolism and muscles signaling up for the entire day. Now let's talk digestion. Many seniors quietly deal with bloating, reflux, or discomfort after breakfast. They don't complain. They just live with it. Eggs, especially when fried or paired with bread, can worsen reflux in some people by slowing stomach emptying. Greek yogurt often does the opposite. The probiotics help regulate digestion and support healthier gut movement. Studies on probiotic intake in older adults have shown improvements in bloating, discomfort, and overall digestive comfort within weeks. Less pressure, less heaviness, less discomfort. That alone can improve appetite, energy, and mood. There's one more benefit that rarely gets mentioned. Greek yogurt supports communication between muscles and bones. After 60, that connection weakens. Muscles protect bones. Bones support muscles. When that relationship breaks down, fracture risk rises. The combination of protein, calcium, and probiotics in fermented dairy helps maintain that connection. Long-term population studies have linked fermented dairy intake with lower fracture risk in older adults, regardless of activity level. This is how independence is preserved. Muscle loss doesn't announce itself. It doesn't happen overnight. It shows up as slower walking, harder standing, poorer balance, fatigue, and fear of falling. Once it accelerates, it becomes much harder to reverse. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is making your food work with your age, not against it. Greek yogurt is one of the simplest shifts you can make. But it's not the only option. There's another egg alternative that works even better for some seniors, especially those with dairy sensitivity, cholesterol concerns, or joint inflammation. And this one surprises almost everyone. Most people believe eggs are the gold standard for health after 60. Protein, strength, energy. And for many years, that was true. But what most seniors are never told is this. After 60, the body gradually changes how it processes cholesterol, sulfur compounds, and digestive enzymes. Foods that once worked well can begin to place more strain on digestion, increase inflammation in sensitive joints, and affect how blood vessels and metabolism respond. That's why so many seniors say, I eat eggs every day, but I still feel weaker, stiffer, or more tired. It's not because eggs are bad. It's because the body is asking for something different now. This is where real progress begins. One of the most reliable egg alternatives for many seniors is plain Greek yogurt. Not the flavored kind, not the sweetened cups. Plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt. Here's why this matters after 60. Long-term nutrition research involving older adults has shown that fermented dairy proteins are associated with better muscle retention, stronger bones, and lower inflammation markers compared to relying on eggs or meat alone. Greek yogurt contains casein protein, which digests slowly. That slow digestion provides a steady release of amino acids to muscle tissue instead of a short spike. After 60, that steady signal matters more than quick bursts of protein. Aging muscles don't respond as well to rapid protein delivery anymore. They respond better to consistency. Greek yogurt also supplies calcium and often vitamin D, which directly support bone strength. Falls don't happen only because of balance. They also happen because bones weaken quietly over time. Supporting muscle and bone together is key. There's another benefit many people overlook. Greek yogurt supports gut health. The gut influences inflammation, nutrient absorption, immune strength, and even mood. After 60, gut bacteria diversity often declines. Eggs don't help restore it. Fermented foods do. That's why many seniors who switch to Greek yogurt notice digestion feels lighter, joints ache less, and breakfast no longer feels heavy. This isn't coincidence. It's physiology being respected. Let me introduce you to Margaret. Margaret is 72 and lives in Ohio. She cooked eggs almost every morning for decades. Over time, she noticed her hands felt swollen in the mornings, her knees were stiff, and her cholesterol slowly crept upward despite eating carefully. No one told her to stop eggs. But no one told her to adjust either. She replaced eggs with Greek yogurt, walnuts, and berries 3 mornings per week. After a few months, her cholesterol improved, digestion felt easier, weight shifted slightly without effort, and her daily walks felt stronger. She didn't add exercise or restrict calories. She simply chose a protein source her body could use more effectively. That's the difference between eating healthy and eating age-appropriate. Now let's talk about another powerful egg alternative, especially for seniors who avoid dairy: lentils. Lentils don't look impressive. They don't get much attention. But metabolically, they are one of the most supportive foods for aging bodies. Lentils provide plant-based protein, resistant starch, magnesium, potassium, and fiber. Large population studies have linked regular legume intake in older adults to better blood sugar control, reduced cardiovascular risk, and slower muscle loss. Lentils digest slowly. They stabilize blood sugar and reduce insulin spikes. That matters after 60, because repeated insulin spikes accelerate inflammation and muscle breakdown over time. Eggs don't regulate blood sugar. Lentils do. When blood sugar stays stable, muscles are better nourished, nerves stay calmer, and energy becomes steady instead of unpredictable. That's why some seniors feel sluggish after eggs, but more even and alert after lentils. Your body isn't weak, it's responding to signals. Here's the truth most health videos never say. After 60, health is no longer about chasing superfoods. It's about tolerance, digestion, and signaling. What your body can absorb, what it can process, what it can recover from. Eggs can still have a place, but they should no longer be the foundation. That foundation is better built from foods like Greek yogurt, lentils, fermented options, stable proteins, and low-inflammation meals. This shift alone can help slow muscle loss, reduce joint discomfort, support heart health, improve balance, and protect independence. Let's make this practical. In the morning, choose Greek yogurt with berries and nuts, or lentils with olive oil and herbs. Midday, keep meals lighter with protein and vegetables. In the evening, focus on smaller portions that are easy to digest. This isn't a diet. It's a reset. Your body doesn't need more effort. It needs better signals. Let's return to the opening truth. Aging doesn't steal health. Mismatch does. When we feed a 70-year-old body like it's 40, problems appear. When we respect change, health improves. You're not broken. You're adapting. And when you adapt with your body instead of fighting it, strength follows. If this helped you see food differently, take a moment to like the video so more seniors can find it. Leave a comment with your age and what you eat for breakfast. And if you want more science-based, senior-specific guidance, subscribe to Mind&Muscles. Because aging well isn't about doing more. It's about doing what finally works.